What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Therapy Range. Today, we're going to be on the range. We've got Karen out here with us. I've got a target set up, and I'm just going to work on one of the many drills that I work on a day-to-day basis to try to be better. Ultimately, we all carry a weapon for a very similar reason, and to elaborate on my reason for carrying a weapon is to be able to have more control over the outcome of a bad situation. If I ever find myself in a situation where there's gunfire involved, I want to be able to have the best opportunity that I have to be able to control the outcome of that event. I want to be the guy going home. I don't want to be the guy going to the mortuary or to the morgue. I want to survive. I want to go home to my family. And ultimately, that's my main objective in carrying a weapon, is to ensure that I always have at least a fighting chance to be able to make it home to my family, no matter what the situation may be. So today we're just going to do some practice. We're going to work on coming out of the holster. I got a few magazines out here for my Glock 44. And that's another thing. Being able to afford to come out and do your practice and get it going on. People will tell you that you should train with the gun that you carry. And for the most part, I thoroughly agree with that. You should train with the gun that you carry. But in the world that we live in today, with ammunition prices being what they are, I carry a Glock 19. So in order to be able to train, I purchased a Glock 44 chambered in .22 long rifle. This allows me to be able to come out to the range and practice my draw strokes, practice my fundamentals. Now you still have to train with your regular firearm, but coming out here and shooting 50 rounds of .22 is going to cost me $5, and I get just as many draws, I get just as many trigger pulls, I get just as many sight pictures doing this with this weapon as I do with the Glock 19, only I'm not spending $50 a box on ammo to do it. 50 rounds of 9mm at the local gun store is $49.99 plus tax, so it's a little over $50 to do what I'm doing today for $5 with this pistol. And granted, it's not 100% the same. There is some variations in this. This gun's lighter, the recoil's different, but the trigger's the same. The draw pull is going to be relatively the same, minus the change in weight. And even with all that said, I still come out and I practice with my everyday carry, but I don't practice 50, 100, or 500 rounds at a time. With this weapon, I can literally come out here and run 500 rounds of .22 long rifle. For the local gun store has 500 rounds for almost $50, whereas 500 rounds of 9mm would be right around $500. It's just not even a realistic comparison at those numbers. It's just not. So I'm going to rearrange the camera. We're going to get loaded up, get our Ear Pro on, and I got my Competition Electronics, what is this called? Pocket Pro 2 timer that I'm going to be using today to time how quick we can get out of the holster. My goal is to have a sub-second draw and shot. That's my goal. I'd say we're going to be 6 to 8 feet, 6 feet, something like that, 5 to 6 feet, relatively close. And that's what we're going to be practicing at today. The goal of this drill is to not be super accurate. At this range, I should be able to come out of the holster and place a round somewhere relatively close to center mass. But the idea is to be able to get out of the holster and get a round off quickly, to assess the situation, to get that round off as quickly as possible, because hesitation will get you killed. It's like carrying a spare tire in the back of your car. Having that tire is great, but if you don't know how to use the tire tool to get in there and to lower the tire on the back of your SUVs and pickup trucks, if you don't know how to use the jack, none of those things are any good to you. They're pointless. They're worthless to even have unless you know how to use them. This weapon can be treated the same way if you don't know how to use it. If you can't effectively get out of your holster and get on target, if you're over here fumbling, trying to get a grip, a person that knows how to use a gun will expire you. You will die, not because you didn't have a weapon to defend yourself with, but because you didn't know how to properly use said weapon, how to get it out of the holster and get rounds on target effectively. And that's what practice and training does. Even if you have to do it with a .22, because of the cost of ammunition. Doing what I'm doing here today will put you in a better situation if that event ever occurs than not doing what I'm doing today. So making it cost effective, sure, let's do that. I'm all about that. You 1911 guys, I don't think there's a cost-effective way for you to do your training. You're just going to have to bite the proverbial bullet and spend that money and do your training. 40 cal guys, same thing. This works with the Glock 19 and the Glock 44 because the gun is the same size, it's the same grip, the same trigger. The only thing that's different is the weight of the gun and the recoil of the gun. Those are your main differences in applying this logic to this particular firearm system. So let's get the camera set up and let's get some shooting done. It's time to shut up and shoot. All right, guys, so here we are. We've got it all set up now for you. And I'm going to start out kind of slow. I'm not trying to be real fast. And I want to emphasize that I personally have lots of room for improvement. This video is not designated to try to show off that I'm good at something or I'm better at anybody else, because I'm not. I'm actually relatively slow at this in comparisons to some of the fast guys that are out there, the people that I can afford to train 8 hours a day, 3 or 4 or 5 days a week. So this isn't about trying to show off, because I'm not that fast. I know that I'm not that fast. But the goal is to keep working on it and get better. So when the time comes, even when the adrenaline dump hits, even when the tunnel vision starts, that you still have the ability to get your weapon out of the holster and get on target and start delivering rounds, even if you're slower due to the adrenaline jump and your cloudiness of your mind when things start going crazy. So without that training, without that repetition, when you start adding those factors in without any of the training or repetition, you really start to realize that you don't have much of a chance in the big picture of things without these repetitions, without doing this muscle memory. So remember, it's not about how fast I am. It's about how fast that I can be with practice and repetition and doing it over and over and over. And that's what you need to think about, is how fast can you be? Can you be faster than me? I hope that you can be faster than me, because I'm not very fast. I've gotten sub-second draws and shots before, but what happens is for me, because I need more practice, when I start getting into below a second, I start getting very sloppy with my target placement. We start getting outside of the A zone. We start getting off the target altogether. Still on paper, but you know, you start getting down to 0.80 tenths of a second or 80 seconds. That's pretty freaking fast, and it's hard to not be sloppy with it. But with practice and repetition, you get better at it. So let's fire a couple of shots. I got a small mag here with like 5 rounds in it that we're going to go ahead and run these first and just take our time and be slow with it. I ain't in no hurry. You know, this timer is not here to kick my ass. It's here to let me know where my improvements are. So it's set on a random buzzer. So here we go. .26 seconds. That wasn't trying to be fast, and it wasn't fast. 1.26 seconds. That's a pretty average time for just warming up. We're just warming up. Here we go. Let's do it again. .43. It was a little slower, but I got a really good shot. Set it again. .03. That was a 1.03. Not bad, not bad. But I'm not even trying to really be fast right now. That was a 1.25. So, all right, we got 4 hits on the target. All 4 hits are in the A zone. Not bad shots, but again, I was taking my time with it. I wasn't really pressing to be fast. Let's do 1 or 2 more, just warming up. I still feel like I could warm up some more. 1.3. Back down to 1.3. Not bad. That's not bad time. That was a second 10. 1.10. That's what we're looking for. 0.92. 0.92, that was an A-zone shot. I'll show you guys the target here when I'm done shooting. It's too complicated to try to keep switching it back and forth. I'm by myself. Let's do it again. That was a 0.90, but it was a sloppy shot. I'm outside the A-zone. It was still a hit. You know, it was still a hit, but it wasn't an A-zone hit. The A-zone, for anyone that doesn't know, right here. All the good body parts. Basically the stuff that the body armor covers. So that round stepped off to the right, got him like right in here, just outside the rib cage. .99. .99. That was a center mass hit, A-zone. .99, that was a headshot, right in the face. There we go, that's a little better. 0.96. 0.96, and that was in the neck. Dead center in the neck, right in the jugular, right there. That was 105. That was a headshot, but it went right through the same bullet hole as the last headshot that I took. 105 to beat. That was 0.93. 0.93. Center mass. We'll do a couple more. Yeah, we'll do a couple more. I'm not going to go through all these. I'm going to go through all these mags, but you're not going to go through all these mags with me. It's boring TV. But we're going to do a few more shots. We're going to try to do some focus on the head and see if we can get some good quick headshots off. Headshots don't have to be sub-second, but we would love for them to be sub-second. So let's try. .10. 1.10, but that was a good headshot. That's great. I've put 3 bullets in the same hole now. That's wild. .111. 1.11. I want to get a sub-second headshot. Let's get a sub-second headshot. There it is. .97. .97. Wasn't a very good headshot, though. It was a glancing blow. Let's do it one more time. Well, that was a miss. See, that's what happens, though. We got down to .81. 0.81 seconds, but we missed the target. That's no good. Fast is great, but you got to hit the target. You cannot miss your target in this. In self-defense, you cannot miss the fucking target. I'm sorry for my language, people, but it's that important. That's how much I have to emphasize. If you draw this weapon in public to use it as self-defense, you cannot miss the fucking target. You can't. You have to hit what you're shooting at. That mistake can cost you your life. It can cost you your life. Yeah, you might not be the one dead, but it's going to cost you your life. It's going to wreck your life. You have to hit the target. Let's try it again. .95. That was a headshot. .98, that was a headshot. .108, headshot. .92, headshot. Oh, there we go. Now that's what I was looking for. That's what we're looking for. .88, and that was a headshot. Yeah, buddy. .108, and that was a headshot. All right, so I think I'm done with that now. I think you get the gist of what we're trying to do here. It's not about being super accurate. Before I show you this target, you just got to understand that it's really not about being super accurate with this particular drill. This particular drill is to just develop the muscle memory of getting out of your holster and getting on target and being able to put rounds down range. That's really all it's about. Accuracy will come as you develop this skill. You will get to the point to where you don't even have to necessarily put the sights on the target. At this range, it's as simple as point and click. So being able to be pretty fast at it should be relatively simple with just a little bit of practice. You should get to be able to get to where you're in the 1 second and 1.4 seconds, 1.8 seconds with a little bit more practice. Being fairly consistent at a sub-second draw and shot on target at this range should become pretty easy. I mean, it's not a heavy training kind of thing to be able to do what I'm doing here. But the point of the video is to just get the idea into your head that you need to be doing this. If you carry a weapon and you're not doing this kind of training, you need to. And I know that you can't draw from the holster in most indoor ranges. Most ranges, period, won't allow you to draw from the holster. And that makes things complicated. So you need to find someplace or somebody that will allow you to do this kind of training, because this is the kind of training that you actually need. You know, being able to hit a static target while you're standing in an air-conditioned building is not the real world. That's not the real world situation that you're going to find yourself in. That's a perfect world situation. You know, like out here on my range, I have no flat ground. Everything is at a slope. That is inconvenient. It's obnoxious. I can't stand it. But it's great for training, because in the real world, I might not be on flat ground. I may not be on pavement. I may not be in the best situation. I may be have my back to the wall from the moment the engagement starts. Those are the scenarios that you have to play out, and training like this helps benefit those situations in the long run. So I'm going to shut the hell up now, and I'm going to show you this target. I want to thank everybody for coming and watching another episode of Therapy Range. If you've watched this much of the video, you're awesome, and I really appreciate your patronage. And if you don't mind, because we don't have sponsors and because we don't have monetization, if you would, go check out the website at patriotshit.com. That's how I take care of my family. I work from home with online retail, and here over the last month or so, I've started shooting YouTube videos. Not making any money for this, though. All this does is cost money. So again, if you don't mind, go check out the website. And if you see anything you like, pick it up, because 100% of those proceeds goes to taking care of my family and keeping Therapy Range moving and going forward, making upgrades and buying new pews and having ammunition. So let me show you this target, and then we're going to get out of here. So there's the miss. Remember, I was complaining about the flat out miss? That was a .80 shot. It was just sloppy. You know, that was almost a miss, but it still counts. It still counts. Headshot. I ended up putting 3 in that hole. You see, look at all them center mass shots. All these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 center mass shots. I'm gonna go ahead and call that a miss. You know, it wasn't a miss, but I'm just gonna treat it as a miss. So we got 2 misses. So I got 10 center mass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 headshots, neck headshots, 10 neck headshots. We'll go ahead and call that one a miss, because it was just a terrible shot. I mean, yeah, it hit him, but it was more like an ear piercing. This one right here, we just kind of nipped his ear off a little bit. But it's all about the practice, guys. It's all about what you expect to get out of it. You know, if you expect to carry a weapon and expect that weapon to protect you, even though you have limited to no training with it, then you're going to be sadly disappointed when you're not able to take care of the people that you love and care about, including yourself. This is Paul Riley from Therapy Range. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care of yourself. Peace.